Welcome to the Spit Bucket. How tough are you? Thanks for joining us.
I don't have a backup story, so if someone steals it, you're going to see like someone crumble on a live podcast.
Alright, welcome to the Spit Bucket. My name's Omar. Hopefully you guys will see someone fall apart today.
Already there.
And joining me this week at the table, the newly religious, he just discovered God for the first time.
When I'm eating.
Why do you keep eating on the
Don't eat on the
podcast?
podcast. It's Alex Torres, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Alex, can you explain what religion you just joined?
I don't know what religion it is.
That's scary.
I just went because my friend invited me. It was really nice. I met the father. He talked to me and he told me.
Like the God? You met God?
Is your friend a girl?
No, it's Nathan. I went over there because
Never mind.
I was
like,
there.
ooh,
I was
he's getting
part.
religious for a girl. Never mind.
I was there because he wanted me to be in his wedding, and I was there when he met his girlfriend in math class. So, yeah.
So
and then me and him always have a constant battle.
Somebody from our school?
Any bitch you meet in math is not a bitch to be kept, let me tell you right now.
That's true.
Let's hope they don't
Didn't
hear
you meet
this.
Omar?
let me make sure I don't recommend this episode to them.
Alright, Nathan, this episode's for you. Alright, also at the table, we have the Ron Swanson of the group. He just recently got the most primitive phone that I've ever seen. Just like Ron Swanson, it's Ivan Prado.
I hate government.
Should have stuck with Apple, bud. Why'd you get that phone?
I had the same phone before.
Yeah, he's had the same.
Yeah.
So you just got a new version of the same phone? Mm-hmm. So now this one flips open?
Mm-hmm. And now
The
it
keyboard
has,
slides out.
it has caller ID and everything. It's
Wow.
Damn, you coming up.
Dude, I haven't seen
It's got color screens.
I haven't seen a sidekick in like 10 years.
You said caller ID, but I'm like, but no one calls you.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
All right.
It's kind of a useless feature for me.
And then the fan favorite, the always here, Champions.
I fucking live here. I literally can't even make up an excuse as to why I can't come.
She's always here, no matter what.
But I do
all
have
the
an
time
announcement
she's
to
here.
make, though. Junkyard Jam is dead. Now it's time for Intellectual Jam. Hello, fellas. No more sklounce, swimping. Never again.
Wow.
No, why? What happened?
I've come to the realization
I'm okay with this.
I'm dumb.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I'm also okay with it.
I need to rebrand myself.
All right. Well,
Before anyone knows.
yeah, we have a nice drawing that we got commissioned coming out of you with this episode.
That bitch is dead.
And it's a Junkyard Jam drawing.
And I need a new one. Intellectual Jam. Same concept in a lab
Except
coat,
now
though.
we're lying.
All right, and then this is the earliest we've ever recorded this podcast because Alan's supposed to be watching some Bears do something later or
Yeah.
something. What are you doing with Bears?
So I'm hoping to see the exact opposite of what the Bears showed us last week.
You mean when they lost to the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about right
Packers are better.
Let's just say there was a lot of hype to the season opener. A lot of hype.
A lot of
Especially
shit
with
talking.
especially with the way the playoffs ended last year for the Bears.
Uh-huh.
This was supposed to be like the big comeback, at home against the Packers with this monster defense.
Oh, but they got destroyed?
and they got wrecked. Dude, they got wrecked.
now? What was the score? Our big football people on the podcast
just a
are.
big
Some may say that all football people are big people.
Yeah. No, Alan's tiny as fuck.
Yeah.
But
We're polar
Big.
opposites.
Ivan and Alan are football people on the podcast, and both of you have like opposite teams, and you guys are kind of wearing their colors. I don't know if it's on purpose though.
Yeah, we did. We coordinated beforehand. I didn't have yellow pants, so
Nasty.
I have yellow underwear.
But he didn't buy them that way.
All right.
Anyways,
Yesterday, half of the Spit Bucket went to Fright Fest. It was the season opening for that,
he said who?
Who?
Oh yeah.
But I just want to share just a clip real quick. Intellectual Jam. See, it sounds like I'm
That's
calling
too
you
long.
retarded.
That's too much, yeah.
We need a nickname for that. What is a good nickname?
All right. How about this?
Jam.
How about from now on we just call her Junkyard Jam, and it just means intellectual now.
Or JJ. Which also stands for intellectual.
That just makes it sound more simple.
Yeah.
So here's a
One of them
video
simps.
of
this
Jam
is
getting
good.
scared by us
yeah.
clowns.
Multiple.
Got her.
And then it happens right again.
He screamed in my ear.
I loved it. Every single turn we took, Jam got scared by every single
I didn't
setup.
mean to. I mean, they're being the baddest bitch possible, and they still get me. I don't know what to do.
Every single time.
I've had enough.
While we're on the topic,
Ringtone.
I just want to mention how much a waste of money is a haunted house is for a guy. Because
Why?
you're literally invisible when you're there because you're not the target.
Oh,
So you're paying to watch other people get scared.
But isn't that part of the fun?
I guess so.
I like the decor. I like the attention to detail.
I'm gonna be honest.
I like how it smells like actual dead people in there.
Yeah, and then they only play "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." Like that's the only song at haunted houses.
New metal is the sole proprietor of haunted houses.
Like no one listens to new metal anymore, other than when you're in a haunted house.
Right.
But I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I do go to a haunted house, I do get pretty freaked out. I scare easy.
That's true.
But because I stand next to a girl who's a whole foot shorter than I am, it really helps me out in my situation because they always go to scare her, and then I don't get scared because she gets scared. So then it makes it funny for me. But going in, I'm always freaked out.
Man, it's some shit. Whenever I go anywhere with Carl, you think her being almost I wouldn't say a foot. She's shorter
2
than
feet.
me, significantly.
Maybe 2 to 3 feet shorter.
And you'd think that they'd go after her, but no. They always just go straight to me.
Why is that? You have a very scareable face. That's why.
I feel like if you show any type of like fear,
I
they'll
don't
target
though.
you.
Like I'm just walking.
All it takes is like a little jump, and they'll see it from like down the alleyway or whatever, or the hallway.
They heard you screaming down this this
target
place.
acquired.
But
Man,
have you guys been to a haunted house? Because we've been to one, but we went with Kevin. Have we gone with you, Ivan?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh,
See, you always forget.
I must have been too
fucking
scared.
Everything, man.
Get closer to the mic.
You forget everything.
because we went with Carl too.
What? All right, this is news to me.
And I was fifth wheeling. It was
It sounds
the one
like
that
you're
was
possessed.
up here, like
Yeah, no, I
north
remember.
of- yeah,
Dude, were you there when I got really scared driving there?
yeah.
Okay,
When he saw the heart on... No, that was a Carl.
I'm scared all the
It
time.
was just there's multiple times that
Oh
happened.
no, it was Kevin driving actually. So no.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't me. Oh, that's when we were listening to that song where they rhyme sarcophagus with
Oh yeah.
what's the
I
thing?
fucking love it.
Esophagus.
I am the one. Don't need a gun to get respect off the streets.
Demonetized.
My boy Denzel Curry.
yeah.
Shout out to Denzel Curry.
Alan, how do you do in haunted houses?
I don't do them at all.
He said, "Oh, I live in one."
I've done one, and it was the story that I told you that I went to
The
the concert
ICP?
to. Yeah, but
Where,
that's it.
where you almost got in a three-way with Juggalos?
It was a lot more than 3 people. Yeah, but
You almost got in a 14-way with Juggalo.
no, that one wasn't too bad. But like I said, that it was like very well lit. Like it was like neon colors all over the place. It was more of like a carnival theme than like people screaming and chasing you.
Okay. I got one more question to ask you guys before we jump into the news. Why do white girls love Harley Quinn?
Pumpkin spice.
That's a good question.
Because of what, Alex?
Pumpkin spice.
Okay. Any other hypothesis?
Do you have another hypothesis?
Isn't it
about
because the actor is just white and pale, and that's the easiest for them
Maybe.
because they're white and pale?
Because we were at Six Flags and we saw, 16 Harley Quinns?
Yeah, it's also Six Flags is also a DC oriented
That's true.
place.
I've
Yeah,
never-
but you don't see bitches walk around dressed as Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, because no one gives a fuck about
Bullshit.
Isn't it crazy John Cena's part of the Scooby-Doo universe?
I'm okay with that.
And so is The Undertaker. The Undertakey, as I call him.
the universe? I call it.
And if he was Hawaiian, he'd be the Undertiki.
I hate you guys so much.
And
Oh,
into, like,
speaking
Jam.
of speaking of John Cena and DC, did you hear he's gonna be in the new Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
John Cena?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
The cast is really weird. Have you guys seen it?
It's
No.
it's got like 32 fucking people on that cast.
Why is that?
I can't pronounce his name, so I'm never gonna attempt to. But the director from Thor Ragnarok is in it too. So
He's in it?
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
in the
directing
movie.
it, or he's?
It has
in
a
the
dude
movie?
from Doctor Who.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
One of the characters from the last Suicide Squad is gonna be back.
Will Smith.
No,
No.
Viola Davis also.
You can't get Will Smith to do anything these days.
No,
He's too
Idris
busy
Elba's
selling
playing
his
his
son's
character.
water at grocery stores.
At Boots.
Anyways, John Cena is now a superhero.
Do you know who he's playing?
Nope, they didn't reveal any details other than
Invisible.
the
Damn.
cast.
He's going to play The Rock. Yeah, who could play The Rock in The Rock biopic movie? John Cena.
John Cena in blackface.
Do you guys remember that The Rock was in that 70s show?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think
with
I got
Matt
that far.
Hardy.
What?
No way.
Yeah.
What was the context of like the episode?
They went to a wrestling event, and The Rock was playing his dad, and then Matt Hardy was wrestling a bunch of midgets or something like that.
Well, I remember seeing
Sounds fake.
I saw an
it's
episode of That 70 Show where they're going to a wrestling show, but they never show the actual wrestling because like all the funny stuff that's going on is like them trying to get into the show and stuff.
They just like it's in the background, but yeah, it's The Rock fighting midgets, and Matt Hardy's also there, being Matt Hardy. Also, people love to dress like Jeff Hardy.
I've seen the
Man,
Harley
yesterday
Quinn
we saw this bitch who she looked like she came straight out of like 2007.
Yeah,
I swear, I feel so bad for people who don't know how to dress.
2007 was a good year though.
she had like
but not for fashion.
the like
Fashion.
oh
I
no,
can't
she had like the bells. She had the
whistles.
like a highlight pink shirt with
It just had
Route
black
21.
stars all over it.
It was very
Girl,
2006.
what are you doing?
I thought I was in a different time period.
I think I know what they're gonna do for that Suicide Squad thing.
What?
Because they posted a poster of like all those people, but then he puts the caption of "Don't get too attached."
Right,
And
a
if
lot
I
of them are
remember in
gonna die.
Suicide Squad, they all die like at the beginning because they refuse to help or work for the government, so they just blow the chip in their mind.
I never watched Suicide Squad. I'm a
Enough nerd talk.
Let's go to the news.
Let's go to the news.
All right, so I got a news story for us. Completely not nerdy at all. A Florida math student is months away from walking down the aisle to the love of their life, a Tetris video game.
I like this.
This is some Tony shit right here.
And they say gays ruin the sanctity of marriage.
So this person's name is. I'm just trying to read this, and
Oh,
as everyone knows, I'm just struggling. Their name is Nurul
So they're Indian.
Majabin Hassan, and I don't think I read that correctly.
Nope, probably not.
Thank you, George Bush, for my education. First, fell in love with her game in 2016, not long after losing her first love, a $160 Texas Instruments calculator.
Bruh.
So
Wait, she's marrying a calculator. I thought.
No. She's marrying the Tetris game after losing her first love in 2016.
Oh, the Texas calculator.
The Texas calculator was her first love.
How did she lose them?
It probably ran out of battery.
I like this song.
Aren't those bitches solar powered?
Yeah.
I remember in elementary school, that's like a weird memory I have of when they would give you the calculator, you'd cover up the
Put your finger over it. Yeah,
and she's like, my calculator doesn't work.
I can't do my
Then
test.
you get hit.
Yeah. She makes you kneel on the triangle, and you start bleeding from your knees. You remember
What is
those?
that one called?
I don't know.
You
Well,
know, like
would tell me-
Wednesdays?
my mom told me that that's what they do in her school. They
What?
make them knee on like a sharp object, so they would cut into your knees whenever you're a bad kid in Puerto Rico.
What the fuck?
All right, never mind.
Well,
I thought we all
that-
shared this memory. If I guess it's just me.
This explains a lot about Puerto Rico. The
It's
academic,
frickin' Rican.
the academic who likes to be known as Fractal Tetris Hurricane. I shouldn't have chosen this story. There's too many big words.
Can you repeat that?
He said all these words bigly.
The academic who likes to be known as Fractal Tetris Hurricane. So, Miss Nurul Khanajabin Hassan would rather you call her Fractal Tetris Hurricane.
Okay.
I'll tell you
It's
what.
not hurricane.
I'll tell you what,
No,
Omar.
no.
You're a little too brown to be saying these names in front of a mic like that.
That's true.
All right. Has a rare condition which gives her emotional and sexual feeling.
fuck.
Let me do that again.
Wow.
Emotional and sexual feeling for objects rather than fellow humans.
Honestly, I'd rather have that too sometimes.
Do you? I picked this story because I was going to ask you guys if you guys were going to walk down the aisle
Easy.
to a video
Yeah, easy.
So like a character
Sonic
or a,
Heroes for the GameCube.
or a cartridge.
a cartridge because she's wearing a cartridge.
Oh fuck.
How about just
So-
an object?
Sonic Heroes for the
Okay.
GameCube.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like she's wearing this little disc.
Sonic Heroes with the GameCube.
What? And so is that everyone's? Is that
I
no,
knew
no.
the first time I fell in love.
What is your
If
first?
I had to marry an object, I just marry my pump. It's always with me.
your diabetes?
My
pump?
diabetes pump. It's always with me.
That's a
I
sad.
mean,
It's
that's
always
a good
pumping into me.
You're right.
So you're the feminine energy in this.
Yeah. I'm taking it.
What is the full question though?
So-
Honestly, that's an abusive relationship, though.
Not if I like it.
Not if I need
Not
it.
if I need it and I want it.
That's real scary.
So my question is, if you were gonna walk down the aisle, it could be to an inanimate object, but a video game cartridge. What cartridge would it be?
Oh, if I had to be a cartridge, okay. I'll think about it. Oh, no.
Heroes for the
Army
GameCube.
Soldier from the Nintendo
Does it
64.
have to be a cartridge, or can it be like a disc?
It could be a disc.
All right, cool.
64
So, game.
Army Soldiers, the green cartridge.
Why that one?
Because so many memories of me just killing in the fridge. It was a really good game. Man.
What about you, Ivan?
Probably that Dead or Alive volleyball game because there's titties on it.
Yeah. That's
That's a good one. That's a good one.
What was that other game? Crazy Cab? Crazy Taxi?
Crazy Taxi.
That one was bumping.
Hell yeah. It's
Bumping.
a Dreamcast game.
Hell yeah.
You had a Dreamcast, Jam? I just found out, like, the more I talked to Jam about her past, I realized that she used to be a gamer girl. And then we were trying to figure out why she stopped playing games.
Right,
like,
Jam.
I
How
feel like
dare
that should have clicked when me and her were laughing about the moon blowing up, and we just both had a connection there. And
About the
you didn't
moon
even
blowing up?
about Sonic. Yeah.
Oh, a Sonic
You
Robotnik.
made a very obscure Sonic reference. I'm like, I fucking
But
get
she's
it.
always talking about different older video games, and we realized the fact that the reason she stopped playing them was because they got too hard.
Oh my god.
I don't know if it's even that. I literally still have for some reason I went back into the garage before we were moving out of Rockford, and I found the Dreamcast, and I cut the wires, and I just kept the remote. Why? I don't know.
What the?
That's not how you
could've just-
package anything.
You could have just taken the wire.
No, because I think we were literally like just throwing everything. And I'm like, I don't want to keep this big thing. I just kept the remote as a reminder.
Right, but you can
Of
keep
what
the remote
was
with the
once
cable.
was.
And where's that remote now?
It's in a box
Hell yeah.
All right, well, we still have it.
in the garage.
So whoever shares this with 10 other friends automatically gets one of Jam's
No.
Dreamcast remotes.
I only clipped the one.
Well, I don't expect our fans to really do much. You guys are really letting us down with these ads.
I'll send a tweet out.
Yes,
I still
please
think
do.
Dreamcasts are one of the coolest consoles.
I never
I
had
really
one.
want
I had one of those Jaguars. Psych.
The car.
No one had one of them. And that was the problem. What about you, Alan?
I'd probably say Earthworm Jim for the second. It's my first introduction to like video game violence, and that's where it all went wrong.
I was literally...
That's a good one.
I was literally gonna pick that one, too.
Literally
But,
the
I'm gonna-
greatest game ever made.
I'm gonna pick what is it? Space Ace. Do you guys remember Space Ace?
No.
It was a horrible game.
Why am I
Impossible to
thinking of
win.
monkeys?
Yeah, well, that's Ape Escape.
I'm thinking of Ape Escape. You're right.
No, it's Ape Escape 2.
Y'all ever played
Chunky
I
Monkey.
Spy Spooky Mansion for the PC?
No.
Yeah, those CDs you buy at Walgreens.
You know what I hate though?
Book fairs.
There's this weird like PC game that we had back like what 2000 something like on an old ass computer.
Uh-huh.
Like you know those old brick computers.
Yeah.
From, like you know one of those though. But it's a game that I thought was really cool. It was like one of the first 3D games I've ever seen as a kid.
Mario
And I don't know what it is.
for the 64?
And I want to figure it out. But I have no fucking clue.
I remember...
What are some hints to what you
All
were
I remember
staring
is
at?
just like walking through a 3D desert and like you find keys to open portals, but it's a first person thing. I don't know.
Banjo Kazooie.
Give me the rest of this podcast.
My real one would probably be the Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. That's been my
Lame.
favorite game ever.
Why?
I think you picked a good one to marry, though.
Yeah, because there's titties on it.
Yeah. None of my games had titties, if I'm going to be honest.
Mine
Unfortunately
did.
for you.
Yours had titties?
Yeah.
Sonic?
Amy.
Sonic.
Yeah, dude.
Sonic
Not
had
even
titties,
Amy.
too.
What's her name? The bat.
Rouge.
Knuckles?
She was hot. I had a thing for Rouge.
Knuckles
She
got that
she
way.
intimidated me.
Yeah, she was really.
Low key, high key.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see what else happened with our lady over here.
Oh yeah.
She's got that rare condition who makes her like objects. The condition scientifically known as objectophilia. So there's the famous cases, of course, of like the lady who married the Eiffel Tower, and the lady who married. I think this is just more of a lady disease. What's wrong with
Men
the
ain't
ladies?
shit.
The one who had a roller coaster as a husband. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of fun. So Narul also intends to take her Tetris name after a ceremony early next year and is currently planning the nuptials around playing Tetris for 12 hours each day, often using her tongue to move the shapes.
What the fuck?
It is believed to be the first case of objectophilia involving a video game.
Wait, so what system is she playing this on?
Oh, what cartridge is this, Ivan?
Can you
Is that like
zoom
the Super NES?
No, that's not a Super
in?
NES one.
That's a Nintendo.
That's just a first Nintendo, though, right? Yeah,
Nintendo.
just a regular NES. Or, what is it
She's
called?
licking that old ass
Nintendo
controller.
Entertainment System.
No, other places. It's not
The Famicom.
Famicom. For that one.
Yeah.
So this is the first case of objectophilia for an actual video game. That's like she's doing a 12-hour Like, she's pulling one of those Alex 11 to 4 a.m.s, but 12 hours.
Well, fuck.
But with Tetris.
My game.
But with Tetris. Alex, what was your high Tetris score?
Fuck, I can't remember, but I remember the game I was playing on my phone lasted me a week and a half until my phone died.
Do you think she gets jealous if other people are playing Tetris?
I would.
Probably. She called Tetris a whore one time.
Wearing a Tetris t-shirt, Tetris necklace, and seductively lit, multicolored Tetris lamp. The math
She said lips.
The math genius admits to engaging in sexual activity with the game and with various Tetris-themed collectibles given to her by her friend.
Yeah, she he rubs against her clit and she blows them.
Wait, how?
The cartridge?
Yeah, the cartridge for sexual pleasure. What does she do for sexual pleasure?
Well, she's got a lamp that she likes to rub against.
Oh, I was talking about the actual cartridge. Like she blows the cartridge.
Well, she's in love with the idea of Tetris.
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
So she's marrying the idea. So anything Tetris. So she's.
You know what though? I'm sure somewhere out there she could buy like a dildo that you can customize to just have like a Tetris pattern on it.
You mean just buy a Tetris pattern?
Yeah. Or just buy blocks.
Yeah.
Smooth it out on the edges a little bit.
No.
I'm sure she's not that
hardcore straight blocks.
Well,
she's pretty crazy. Like,
she's a
from
math
what I've heard
nerd.
so far. Yeah, but that's surprising that she's
Just like Tony. I got some questions to ask this boy. Maybe that's why he moved to Africa. He's like, I gotta get away from Tetris.
I gotta go where there isn't technology.
Yeah, where Tetris is the only technology.
All right.
I gotta feel there's more people like this. They're just not like very open or public about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
This seems like something you'd like be a little shameful of.
Sonic Heroes for the GameCube.
It's a good game.
Did you?
Oh,
Wow.
is someone's phone not on silent?
Ivan, we're
Put it on
recording.
silent.
This is
Second
our
shit.
business. Do you know how much money we make
you
off
really
this
do have
show?
to listen to last week's episode. That was pretty good.
Now that I know you guys roasted me, I'm not gonna listen to it.
You should listen to that on your way to the concert next week. We're recording episode 50 next week, and Ivan made plans.
Wow.
Why do you guys hate me?
He put his phone back from silent to just on.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off silent.
Even louder.
And I'm gonna tell my mom to text me.
Mom, tell me I have to go home. But speaking with the Daily Mirror, she admits to having feelings towards this 35-year-old retro game. I think Tetris is so beautiful. He is about perfection and stimulates your mind, she gushes. Physically.
Gushes, I know, that's a good choice of word.
Right? Dude, she's gonna get that.
Y'all ever be gushing?
You know how you're not supposed to blow in the NES
Blood, yeah.
cartridges?
No,
Yeah.
Because it actually rusts the connections.
Yeah.
So her connections are probably real rusty, if you know what I mean.
Oh, man.
All right. Physically, I get the feeling that people get with human relationships that they are just the right one. I love him so much, and I get to immerse myself in the satisfaction with him.
I don't
Very
think it's
invested.
fair that it's a him. Because then it makes it gay for me.
Is it a he or is it a she?
So that it just goes on to talk about objectophilia and her fetish in geometry, but we don't have time for that because we
Fuck
got
that.
more news.
That's a weird game to pick.
Although isosceles triangles.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what the sexiest shapes are. I'm gonna go ahead and say rhombus.
I'm gonna go ahead and say circle because of Sonic Heroes for the GameCube.
Yeah, 'cause Sonic.
I was gonna say circle because of like titties, but
That's a good one.
Sonic is a better answer.
What about-
Hedgehog shape. Itualan?
I don't know. I'd probably say it's a tie between a circle and an oval.
Yeah.
Oh, oval.
I like
squovels. The ones
Squovels,
that
if you will.
the squares that are rounded, the squovels.
What?
Yeah,
Shout out to Carl.
damn right, wet.
Is that what you...
I like that.
Yeah, I'm with
Like our glasses, these are squovels.
Oh.
God damn it.
He's like, I have seen.
I learned.
So, what do you think, Alex? What is the sexiest
I'm
shape?
with like an oval.
Said,
Like
yeah,
an oval
I'm with
within
you
an
on the
oval.
rhombus.
An oval and an oval.
I'm with you.
That's
on
like
the
what I'm
rhombus,
thinking.
huh?
Me too.
No,
I remember
that's
seeing.
not what I said at
I
all.
saw a rhombus for the first time in 3rd grade. I haven't been the same since.
You said
Yeah.
you dummy shake. What's the plural of a rhombus? Rhombi?
No,
No, it's
Rhombus.
pussy.
rhombuses. All right, let's move on to our next story. Jam, you got a story for us?
Yeah, this one's an interesting one. This one comes from our good old Chicago. Let me read this headline to you guys. Let me see if you guys can make as much sense of it as I can. Ex-lawyer who stole from clients in part to finance his excuse man character given 3 years in prison.
It's like he's supposed to look like a superhero, but he mostly just looks like he's wearing a bunch of do-rags.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'm trying to get them waves."
Did you guys see that video that's been going around on Twitter of a dog with a do-rag that then has waves?
No.
The little puppy, the golden retriever puppy.
It's beautiful.
That's fucking funny.
I have to find it.
I saw one. It was like a small chihuahua, but they like dyed like a hairline on him. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It looks really sad, and they're like the owner's just like pointing the camera at the dog, and it's like trying to look away, but she's cracking up, and it's got a hairline.
To be fair, chihuahuas always look sad.
Yeah. I love when they put makeup on a baby, but they make them look mad. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Oh fuck! A dog with a hairline.
That's funny. That's my spirit animal.
In character as Excuse Man, attorney Jordan Margolis hammed it up for the camera in bright blue superhero costume, cracking corny jokes about people who mess up and don't fess up, wearing a sober navy blue suit on Monday. Okay, so he faced sentencing for stealing from about a dozen clients, in part to pay expenses connected to Excuse Man, a comic character he developed.
The worst.
How much money
comic.
does he actually need for that, though? Like, there's a costume, and then what?
Dude, do you know how much do-rags cost?
Well,
You're right, they're expensive.
Judge Reddick sentenced him to 3 years in prison since he still
fuck.
hasn't paid about $300,000 in restitutions.
What the
Under a
fuck
plea
did he
deal-
spend the money on?
Under a plea deal he reached with prosecutors, Margolis would have to be given a 2-year prison term if the restitution had been paid in full. So even if he paid it, he still would have gotten 2 years.
Might as well do that extra year.
Since he didn't pay it, he got the extra year.
See, they should have just given him more time. Suicide Squad's so close. Like,
Right.
That's going to be his debut. John Cena as Excuse Man.
So, but really, how is he spending $300,000?
Well, yeah, where did that go?
It's
Because
all
that
on ammo,
costume...
because his
He has a
character just
YouTube
uses
channel.
guns. Wow.
I fought for the little guy as a trial lawyer against big corporations and insurance company, Margolis, a former personal injury attorney, told the judge, I dedicated my professional life to seeking justice. My transgressions were well-intended, but wrong.
He's the guy where, in a wreck, need a check, call 555.
No, it's
2222. You know what made me upset is Glenn Lerner, right? He has a partner now, so it's not just Glenn Lerner.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Every time it's
Whatever
like a photo of
Glenn
him and a
Lerner.
regular ass guy.
Dude,
Yeah.
and it
you
looks...
can't do that.
It looks like he hired a guy that he wanted to look exactly like him, but it's just off a little bit.
Right. It's like Lerner and something, but it's not
Damn.
the same anymore. How dare he ruin his
He said,
brand
call
like
the
that.
222 of us.
Anyway.
Oh, shit.
Guys, I'm giving up my job for marketing. That's my true calling.
Okay, so Margolis pleaded guilty in December to a single theft count. Prosecutors said he settled personal injury, wrongful death, and car crash lawsuits without his client's consent and pocketed the money. He was charged in 2016 with stealing more than $1.1 million.
Holy shit.
So he was settling the cases for his clients, not without them knowing, I guess, and still charging them for his services.
That's fucked up. And then using them to go towards his shitty character, which I don't even know what that means. When he says it's going to his character, he didn't do it. He hasn't done anything. Also, do you think he does criminal law? Because our boys at God Spilled the Podcast need a lawyer right now. Trash, the main host, or I don't know if he's the main host, but he's running the show.
Uh-huh.
And our friend over there, Trevor, got in a fight in Libertyville and got arrested for disorderly conduct.
Did he really?
And being intoxicated in public.
Trevor did?
Yeah, Trevor did.
You my number one fan?
Your number one fan.
Oh my god.
We actually need a trial lawyer.
I was wondering what it was that they needed a lawyer. Because I saw the Instagram story, and it's like, we're listening to the Spit Bucket while we handle lawyer stuff. I'm like, what did they do that they need a lawyer?
Yeah, well, the thing that's fucked up is that they said that he weighs 185, where he weighs 150.
Wow, that's fucked up.
That's the true problem here.
Yeah, 30 pounds more.
So if you guys want to help God Spilled the Podcast and Trevor, listen to the show.
Listen to us and give us money.
Yeah.
Listen to our show. It help them out a lot.
Your main source for God Spilled a Podcast news.
Wow. Give us
All right,
money.
Trevor,
So-
I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's just in jail, right?
Yeah.
He's in jail.
He's currently in prison.
I guess
Oh wow! For how long has he been there?
Yeah, I don't know, like a month now.
that's fine. He'll survive.
So
Keep that diet up, Trevor.
this whole thing ends up with like he's just apologetic for stealing the money. He's gonna try to earn people's trust, and it ends with the charges detailed in a front-page Chicago Tribune story in 2016 baffled local attorneys who knew Margolis as a Northwestern Law School graduate and from a family of well-known lawyers.
Damn, he just got bored, but had no creativity to do anything with his
costume
boredom.
was super
So
cheap.
mean.
Yeah, for $1.1 million, I was expecting more.
Have you guys ever cosplayed?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you can get charged for stealing $1.1 million and only have to pay $300,000 in restitution.
Just look at the picture again, and then
Excuses.
because he's white.
yeah.
Yeah, look at the color on the
Look at
picture.
the picture one more time.
Have we ever cosplayed?
Huh?
Have we ever
Yeah, have you
cosplayed?
guys ever cosplayed?
I've cosplayed as Sonic Heroes for the
Oh fuck!
The whole CD.
I cosplayed as a disc.
Damn.
What?
If we go to a con again, which I don't know if we ever will.
Jam's been obsessed with anime conventions recently.
No,
I would like to go to one.
I would like to eat. I'm hungry.
I want to go as Indiana Jones.
Is
Why
that your
not
cosplay?
Puerto Rico
That's-
John.
Illinois Torres.
Illinois Torres. Damn, dude. What if we get okay? So everyone,
Donate
once you
money.
finish, once you listen to, or you're probably listening to this on your phone. I don't care if you're driving, but open Instagram right now, and Jam's Junkyard Jam art is on the Instagram. So what if we do that same thing?
good words.
Yeah, I know a lot of them. What if we do that same thing, but with Illinois Torres?
I like it. But where does one find the Spit Bucket Instagram?
It
On
is
Instagram.
on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Look
Yeah,
up.
but what's the handle?
Let me.
Yeah. Just open up your Instagram on the internet. the fucking internet.
Oh, I didn't know if it was at the Spit Bucket or
It's
if it was
under the
here.
Spit Bucket Pod.
Do you
So
see what I'm saying?
we're on there now.
Look
At
at
the
that.
Spit Pod.
At the Spit Bucket Pod.
It's not
That's
Twitter.
why
you
I
need the app.
second in
She's
command this
farting.
podcast.
Ellen, what would you cosplay as?
Well, I've
Other
done
than
it
Sonic
before
Heroes.
as Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Oh, that's-
Oh, yeah?
Halloween. And then like a couple years later, I did Marshall Lee from Adventure Time.
Nice.
You
Marceline?
did that too.
No, so like there's a gender reverse role like episode. There's a couple of them that they do, and Marceline is like the guy version would be Marshall Lee, and it was played by Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. I did not know that.
It's really good.
I
That's a
yeah,
really good episode.
I knew that about that episode for about a year
I
and a
thought,
half.
dude, this whole time I thought that that Fiona and Cake and Marshall Lee were the originals, and Finn was just a gender swap of them.
Well, there's a lot of lore in that show. I mean, he has past lives that they go back and visit sometimes. But
Well, that's scary.
yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of really
Is
cool
this a
stuff in that
Buddhist
show.
show?
Hey,
I don't think.
I remember I came home from school once and I turned on the TV and I was just like getting out of school clothes, getting comfy clothes, and then the intro for it comes on and I'm like, that sounds a little different. And I turned to look and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I was scared beyond belief and I was sitting there, I was shaking watching
Quick
the
side
TV.
note. Isn't it that feeling when you get home and like switching into your comfy clothes and having to? It wasn't that the best thing in the world.
I still do that. I have to wear work clothes.
Yeah, it's still like that for me, but it's less comforting because I'm always depressed. But like,
I
what about like when
at
you
work,
weren't?
I don't.
I wear just the polo for the job and then leggings, and I still come home to change out of the leggings, which are already very comfortable, to something more comfortable.
You guys already know. I come home, hours pass, I then go meet you guys somewhere, and I'm still wearing scrubs.
Yeah, what the
So I don't.
Well, I'm talking about like middle school, high school. Well, not
Yeah.
high school because I wear comfortable stuff, but like, middle school. Let's say you
When
come
you're
home,
in
you have to
uniform?
take off your stupid ass
I still
uniform,
wear scrubs.
put on your comfortable ass clothes.
That's crazy. We're eventually we would hope to do a Spit Bucket like meetup somewhere, and guaranteed
That's scary.
Alex is gonna wear his scrubs.
I'm gonna wear my scrubs.
It's not
But you
even gonna be a
don't-
day
but you
that.
don't have those shoes anymore, so
Which ones? My black shoes?
yeah.
I'll clean them.
Do you think anything weird would happen if we had a meetup?
Yeah, no, because no one would go. So
Let's
just
say
be
we
us.
It'd be
somehow
weird
had
because
fans.
no one showed up.
Yeah.
What if we somehow had fans? Let's
Then it'd be weird.
stretch our
See,
imagination.
based on the numbers that we get, people listen to the show, but we just don't know who any of you are.
Yeah, how about you fucking communicate?
We could just put on a DGB/longtime show
/ Spit Bucket.
reunion show.
Oh,
and just
yeah.
be like,
/ Spit
Psych,
Bucket.
welcome to the Spit Bucket. How the heck
How
are
the
you?
heck?
That's the wrong number.
That'd be funny.
I
Wow.
think if we had fans, so I'm thinking, none of them would talk to me, so I'm okay.
Alex
I'm okay
is the
with
most
that, too.
unapproachable out of all of
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Just so you guys
I'm
know
okay
that.
with that.
Well, I'm usually standing like this.
No,
so
my-
I
I
don't
feel
know.
the same
Intimidation.
way. I feel like Omar and Jam would probably take a lot of the workload.
I want my
Yeah.
booty
those
touched.
Of what?
Of like
Of actually
a meet
talking.
and greet. Like the majority of like
Would be
the
Jam.
fans
because-
would be you guys. So
You see, that's what you guys think, but I'm actually very scared of people.
Yeah, but they're gonna be at you because where's Junkyard Jam, and then no one's gonna be like, where's fucking Alex?
Yeah.
You just
Where
gotta
is
hit
that
him with
piece
the
of shit?
hello?
Yeah, and I'm just like,
That'd be the
Hello?
problem. We're
Hello?
so antisocial that if we
He's
threw a
just
spit bucket,
anti-Semitic.
I'm gonna throw up.
if we were at a spit bucket meet and greet, all of us would be in the corner hiding from each other.
I wouldn't. I'd just be wearing scrub.
It would just be nice to be liked for once.
It'd be funny. I mean, if you guys want to do some sort of, doesn't have to be a big thing, but if you guys want to do some sort of
Y'all
spit
wanna just
bucket
meet
meet
at
and greet,
The Little Caesars parking lot.
Yeah, I like it.
Play some
Pizza.
jacks.
let us know. We would actually, that'd be pretty fun to maybe for Halloween or something. We
Yeah.
can do some
We can all
sort
meet
of.
up at a haunted house,
It's like I got
Damn,
plans.
that'd be fun.
and then I'll take people home.
And I got plants.
Make it known if you do want a spit bucket meet and greet. Let us know. That'd be really fun to
Psych.
do.
Yeah, please say psych, because I don't want to do this.
it's like,
I'd be okay with that.
We'll go bowling or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bowling.
Who's got another news story for us?
Oh, shit. I wasn't ready.
Does your
Give me a
phone
sec.
work?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, how do you even get it on that little screen?
It takes about 20 minutes to load a web page. So.
All right, so I'm gonna do an edit
Alright,
point
guys.
here.
Do you guys remember before we had, smartphones, trying to watch porn on, like, the very shitty, like, the first phones that had touchscreens?
You mean
No,
on my
I had-
DS?
I had a computer,
Yeah.
so.
You know what's funny? I took sexual photos with my DS that I sent my ex, and I just
That you sent to your teacher?
It's all just flying right back in. Man,
You sent it through that Nintendo chat?
yeah, it was good.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
it
but-
called, though?
He drew it in to make it look
Picto
bigger.
Chat, isn't it?
PictoChat.
There we
Picto
go.
Chat.
Damn, throwback.
My first
wait, but
sex-
were you able to send photos through that? Because I remember it was just
If you-
doodles.
I would get their
do.
codes,
Yeah.
but I had her code because I knew her in
So
person.
was she like in the other room when you were sending these?
Yeah, don't you have
Because
to
that's
be
what I'm
pretty close?
imagining.
No, PictoChat was like for the original ones, but the DSs that let you take pictures, they had like different.
Yeah,
Okay, I've never had those before.
What,
I've
that
never had
DSi?
the
I
DS
only had the ones that.
but
had
it was
PictoChat,
literally
but
like really shitty images of
when
me.
they added the like camera onto it. That's when
Yeah.
it.
I have a 2DS, and the first time I ever took a picture, I was at the Shanghai airport, and then I took a picture of just like a recliner chair because I'm like, oh shit, this has a camera. So I took a picture of a Chinese chair.
I remember the DSIs came out and me and Carl had some. We just
You
kept
guys
taking pictures
send,
in gym.
send each other pictures, like Alex.
We'd send each other edited pictures of Chowder.
That's a
Chowder.
good
TV show.
Good,
What?
Yeah,
She
Chowder's
would take
good.
pictures
Chowder.
of it as she was watching TV, and then she'd just draw something on top. I love you, Carl.
Oh.
What was that, Maple?
Workers.
We'll bring
scream-
Mabel to the meet and greet,
No,
that's a
she's
good
just terrible in crowd situations.
just like Alex.
What?
All right, guys. Workers scream as mouse launches itself into deep fire at Texas Whataburger.
Wait, can you read that again?
Workers scream as mouse launches itself into deep fryer
Oh,
at
there's
Texas
a video to
Whataburger.
that, dude. There's a video of that. It's the funniest thing ever. I didn't think there was gonna be any like news articles like attached.
One more time. Workers scream as mouse launches itself into deep fryer at Texas Whataburger. Hell yeah. So it says, a mouse appears to dive headfirst into a deep fryer at a Whataburger restaurant in Bastrop, Texas, and is seen caught on video by a customer and posted online.
See, what you guys don't know is that this story was so awful that my computer stopped recording, and it really made my head hurt for some reason. This story doesn't want to get out
See
there.
the vein in your head.
Yeah, it hurts.
Also, how come your forehead dark?
I'm dark, all right.
You're
I
right.
can't get away with stealing $1 million from.
I can see it now. Fan meetup. Yo, why is your forehead
wh-
so dark?
Why your forehead dark? Alright.
Got your ass, dude.
Anyways. Moving on.
My sides hurt.
Bershawn Lewis published the footage to Facebook early on Sunday. It shows the restaurant staff trying to catch the mouse as it scampers across the counter before it launches itself right into the fryer. To the immense shock of staff and onlookers. Who else needs a refund? One person can be heard asking. The post hit 1.4 million views in less than 24 hours and was shared more than 50,000 times.
I've told this story before on this podcast of when I found a mouse in Burger King. So I could only imagine seeing a mouse, and then it heads straight and jumps into the fryer. I'd lose my fucking mind.
So Whataburger issued a statement, and they said, "We closed the restaurant out of an abundance of caution and notified pest control. The entire restaurant has since been cleaned and sanitized."
The world's most suicidal mouse.
What I want to know is, would you guys eat a mouse burger?
Ew, no.
Dude, you know how much I hate rodents? I would rather die.
I wouldn't even eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
That's true.
I would.
Whole beef. I only eat burgers from Burger King.
I'd have to say no.
And nicer.
That's fucking weird.
I'd eat a mouse burger.
I mean, are we talking like full mouse? Like if I was mouse?
Let's say you just cut the meat off. You know, you fried it.
It's
So
multiple mice shaped
mouse
into a
meat.
patty.
It's prepared. Yeah, it's mouse meat. It's prepared like any other
like
type
nuggets,
of meat.
right? Or like
No,
strips.
a patty.
Oh, a patty
on a burger.
A full
So they
burger.
cut it all up,
Mouse
and then
meat.
they mush
Yeah,
it together,
just the
and
meat.
they shape it.
You
No.
can make a patty out of it, fry it.
We need to
Maybe
put
not
it-
even fry it.
we
I'd
need
take
to
a bite. All right.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All right,
You would take a bite. Dude, that's more than I would ever do.
As
Dude,
long as it's not vegetables, I'll try it.
I would never.
Why not?
Dude,
It's deep fried.
That's literally a
I'm always
nightmare
afraid
to
of
me.
critters.
What if it tastes good?
They freak me the fuck out. During winter, we get mice in the studio, and I always have to get them out, and it takes me a full day before I build up the courage to even look at it.
Yeah, by then the corpse is fucking rotting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't you talking about like a spider?
No, a mouse.
No, a mouse.
Oh, a mouse.
We get lots of spiders. Spiders I'm
Nice.
fine with. It's rodents that I hate.
In my last house, my cat brought me a little mouse.
Oh, yeah?
After he
Did
killed
you eat it?
No.
Well, then that's disrespectful.
Rude.
Yeah.
The weird thing is your brain is supposed to be wired to be more scared of a spider because it's less like you than a rodent.
Clearly, his thinking machine don't work.
Right.
I can't swim.
'Cause
Yes,
We
your
tend
fear
to
of
be-
spiders is swimming.
we tend to be
Hand
more
to hand.
scared.
The wires cross.
We tend to be more scared of things that look less like us. Not that we look like mice, but they have similar
less.
eyes.
Have you seen this clown?
Spiders don't have
Squeak,
similar
squeak.
eyes. Like, they have, features that are kind of like us.
Yeah.
2 eyes, blah, 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 this, that.
But I'm not about that life.
Spiders have 8 eyes.
But spiders are fine. I've literally never seen a spider and thought, oh no.
What about
a
Hey,
spider.
that's just not true. That shit not true.
When?
Remember that big fucking tarantula that was in Mabel's bed?
Yeah, but I went to kill it. Like
Yeah,
nothing.
but you were like, huh.
Remember when we were in Japan and we were walking through this garden and there was just signs everywhere of like, we saw a deadly spider here 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah. We were like, let's go catch it.
It was like it was literally a black widow spider that they lost track of there, right?
Yeah.
If
We lost
Ace
our
somewhere
spider.
in here, be careful.
Just a
I'm like,
heads
cool.
up. But it's cool because it's like it's been 2 days.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
It was a little cold, so maybe it didn't
It died.
survive.
Maybe it died.
Maybe.
Damn, I forgot all about
Alan,
that.
remember that centipede that we saw in my basement one time that none of us could kill? So my
We
mom
were
had
in the
to do
middle
it?
of a fucking band practice when this thing like
Oh, I wouldn't
runs
know.
across the fucking carpet, and we literally
tried to steal your
stopped
money.
what we were doing for a full 25 minutes trying to find this thing.
All right, practice is over. We had
Like
to burn the
I was
house.
standing right next to the couch where it like ran under, and I had my feet curled like the entire time, like
when
my
it,
toes
when
curled.
it came out, I was fucking terrified because I have a fear of them.
But you eat a mouse.
Some may say I am afraid.
Nobody else said anything, so I was like, shit, I don't want to be a bitch and be the only one scared. But then, all at the same time, like, Alan and Eric and Seymour were like, oh, look at that. All right, cool. It's okay to be scared of it. And it was so fucking huge. Like,
It was like we were all genuinely concerned,
Right.
like
because I saw it from upstairs. I was coming back down.
That's how big it was.
And that bitch was like, and at least that bit, and it's like, they're thick. It's a house centipede, so they're thick as fuck.
Shit.
They walk
It was
like
a big
this.
bitch.
Because if you kill, like, if someone just like hit it with a shoe, that's something you're gonna have to clean up.
Yeah.
Like actually.
Or it might catch the shoe and throw it back.
I heard if you kill a centipede, 2 take its place.
That sucks. I've killed a lot of them.
Do you think centipedes have kneecaps?
Damn, just break all of their knees.
Imagine if they tore all their ACLs.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's a lot of hamstrings.
I have
That's a
a
lot of
fear
ham.
of. I'd have the only reason I'd be afraid of a bug is if it could burrow inside of me. But spiders can't.
Yeah,
So,
they can.
no, they can't.
Yeah, they can.
Spiders
People-
can't dig holes.
People have had spiders like in their ear holes. And stuff.
Yeah, but that's not burrowing inside of me. Like I'm talking about
Like
my
ticks.
skin.
ticks.
Like ticks. Fuck
when
ticks.
They like shove their head in.
Parasites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any parasite at all?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Leeches?
I don't mind leeches.
Do you think we all have like tapeworms? I feel like it's a lot more common.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No,
I think it's a lot. That is
if we
pretty common.
did, we'd...
If you ever ate anything like off of a cart in Mexico, I mean, I'm pretty sure you got.
I
worms.
haven't.
I've eaten mints off the floor,
Yeah, that's true.
So that's it.
as I've been known for.
Didn't you eat a muffin off of...
Hey, listen.
a half-eaten muffin off a cart before?
It's a rich person's muffin. Rich people have never had tapeworms.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
They got that good insurance.
Yeah.
Good insurance.
No, they can just afford the medication that you guys
Right.
can't.
Hey, do you guys want to do this news story real quick? It's
Let's-
a short one.
Let's do it.
I just want to ask real
Shorty.
quick. What do you think men can do better than women?
Everything.
All right. Well, give me some examples.
They're stronger. They're faster. They can probably do math faster.
They can come faster.
I can't. Child's function.
Would you guys be surprised to know that the very first space crime was committed by a woman?
Oh.
I heard about
I
this.
heard.
Yeah.
A
What happened,
space crime?
Did she, like, kill somebody in
Space
space?
crime.
By
It's-
the way, if I have to say it, I'm just kidding. Women,
No, he's not.
I love you.
He said, I love Wayne.
Oh, run the world, girls.
Yeah, I take it back. I mean it.
So it's not as dramatic as it sounds, but it is the first space crime, and it just happened to be a woman. Am I right, guys?
What did she drive too bad or?
Drive to the wrong lane in space. Right, Jim? Hell yeah.
I will say this: women cannot drive. There's a woman T-boned yesterday at work.
That's hot.
Blue stop sign.
All I gotta fucking say is that Sonic Heroes for the GameCube would not hurt me like this.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so NASA astronaut Annie McClain is at the center of what may be the first ever crime committed in space.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
On Friday, the New York Times reported that McClain's estranged wife, Summer Warden, discovered that someone had accessed her bank account while McClain was on board of the International Space Station. And the computer network that the person was registered to, it was NASA. So, the two sides, according to the New York Times story, Warden has since filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission accusing McClain of identity theft and improper access to Miss Warden's private financial records. While her family has filed a complaint to the NASA's Office of Inspector General, the story is still ongoing. During the
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm kind of confused as to what the crime was.
So basically, the
Identity
person
theft.
in space
Uh huh.
accessed another person's bank account
From space.
from
from
space,
space
on the internet.
Or just a random
on
person?
NASA's internet.
Was
It was
it
her
somebody she
husband.
knew?
Her estranged wife. Is that right?
Oh,
So ex-wife?
well, maybe they aren't divorced yet, but aren't together. I think. And
They're
was like,
estranged.
I'm going to access
I've
your
heard of
bank
I've heard of
account.
people doing that, getting married, but instead of actually going through a divorce, they just estrange from each other.
Wait, doesn't that just mean you just don't talk to each other ever again?
Pretty much. You're still married.
Yeah.
Let's look at the
For the
tax.
tax. Tax breaks.
It might seem odd that the first space crime accusation has nothing in particular to do with space. It's just a type of marital dispute that just happens regularly here on Earth.
But in space.
But it makes it so much cooler because it is in space. Do you guys remember when the Power Rangers were in space and then the Ninja Turtles showed up?
No.
How the fuck that happened? They live underground.
They said, hey, we can't breathe out here. We ain't got helmets. We're turtles.
Where's the pizza?
Yeah, there's no pizza in space.
I remember I learned about space from like kids' movies. There's a story that I used to be pretty embarrassed to tell, but now it's kind of funny. Have you guys ever seen Wallace and Gromit? Like those
Yeah.
claymation films?
Yeah.
There's the one where he goes to space because he's out of cheese, right? And he needs cheese, so it's like
That's right.
he's out of cheese, and his logical response is like, let's go to the fucking moon, you know? So nobody ever told me that was just a movie. I took that as fact. That the moon was made of cheese all the way up until high school.
No.
When somebody told me, no, dude, that's not right.
You know it's not.
Nobody in the conversation
fucking
never
way.
came up. I was like, yeah, I don't know what I said, but I remember like mentioning, hey,
If
you
we
know,
run
the
out
moon
of
is
cheese here, we can use the cheese.
yeah,
up there.
something like that.
And they're like, wait, are you kidding?
Please
Please say Sike.
So did you think all cheese that was here came from the moon?
It was like middle school, not high school. I remember now. I remember what grade I was in. It wasn't that long, but still, no, because I did take some. I did learn about like the planets and shit, and they told me it was just a rock. But I remember it was too old to be thinking that.
It was too old for it not to be cute anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't cute.
This shit ain't cute.
And I'll tell you what, they did not let that go. So.
And now we won't either. So we're gonna make another chibi icon of astronaut Alan with his cheese moon.
Whoa.
What would I be if you guys created a
A
drawing?
sack of shit.
You're right. But what else could I be?
Probably like a Soviet tank. like you driving one.
I'm built tough.
Built tough to last.
And I'm a
Built
communist.
Ford tough.
Yeah, and I'm a communist.
I'm not gonna lie though, I thought the moon was made out of cheese for a very long time.
It was a good
as well.
movie. It was a good movie.
Who was telling you guys that shit?
I don't know.
Wallace
I
and
don't know
Gromit.
if it was that movie or if I heard it somewhere else, but I literally did think for a long time that the moon
Well,
was
people
cheese.
Why did that thing start? Because I
I don't know,
remember
that's
that
the thing.
coming up in like
Oh, because it
TV
kind of looks like it?
shows.
Because of the Swiss holes, maybe?
That's been around for a while.
Yeah, because that's an old thing.
But like for what?
Wallace and Gromit.
That's
is
some
a cheese thing.
American white shit. Because I tell you what, Mexican cheese don't got no holes.
No, it doesn't. But I heard it from my Mexican cousins also that the moon was made out of cheese, and they came like straight from Mexico. Like they were hot for a really
So
long
what
time
you're saying
before
is,
coming to
like
America.
what happened to me could have happened to anybody. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
except not that late.
yeah.
Except I was 8 and I didn't believe them.
Yeah.
I have a funny little question. Did your parents ever have like a not? I don't want to say cutesy, but like an innocent little name for your private parts as they would address to you as children?
Just pajaro. That's it.
Me too. El pajarito.
Oh, you guys all
The
have
little-
peeners,
yeah,
huh?
The little
Yeah,
birdie.
that's what we got.
And none.
And
Well,
Alan's got so much foreskin. That's the toughest. It's like American Teflon. Right, Alan? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
built for
I'm just-
tough.
It's built like a Soviet tank.
Because I was gonna say you don't have sisters, but you do. And you said your parents never talked to them.
They just
about
call it a front butt.
And none of you have sisters, so
What do you mean? I have 3 sisters.
I don't.
Hey,
It's
he
not-
literally
He just doesn't
does.
know them.
So did you
I
ever
do
get like
have-
an explanation of why you were different, like at a very young age?
Why you didn't have a
No.
front button?
I learned in school when in like elementary school they all separated our class. No, middle school.
He like
'cause I was
throws his shit on
Eric.
the floor. They what? they have what?
It was
No,
weird.
I remember in elementary school they
I went to
separated
middle
us
school.
in 5th grade because
Yeah.
they were showing girls like this is what a period is, and they
Oh,
gave me a little
yes.
care pack that had like my first pad, my first little deodorant.
That's cute.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, bitch, I was the first one in 5th grade to get my period. I've been known about
Jam's
it.
like, I already
with
have
Eric.
limes at
You were
home.
with Eric?
I was with Eric.
Did
I was
they-
a B
in
cup.
elementary
Did they show
school,
you
right?
sex ed in the library?
No, they
No,
just
'cause that's what they
showed
did at
like
Oakdale.
they just talked. I can't remember, but I remember because Eric was there.
Cafeteria.
That's about it. And then in
So you
high
learned.
school, I learned because they showed us all those like herpes and shit on a dick.
So you and Eric learned about each other's peeners
Yeah.
together.
And we're like going to each other.
That's awesome. That's
This
real
is what
friendship.
feels good for me. I wonder if it feels good for you. Start jerking off
He's
there.
like,
So
yeah, it does.
and since we're-
Eric's not here to defend himself, so this story
yeah,
is
it's
fact.
100%.
And at first he was like, oh, and he's like, you know what, actually, that's pretty good. He said, oh, I like that.
So it says
That's
right
funny.
here, it is likely originated from the formulation in 1546 when a guy in a movie said that the moon is made of a green cheese.
Green
That's
cheese.
about so since 1546. So it's a saying since 1546.
Wait, so
Motherfuckers have been saying that
you guys-
for 500 years.
yeah, you guys. So
They had movies back then? Is that what it was? A movie
Yes,
star?
did it say movie? The Proverbs of John.
it's in the Bible, is
That's
what he's
pretty
saying.
different. Okay.
That's basically a
The
movie.
Bible.
Yeah. Wait, so you guys didn't have anything else that your parents would call it?
Call what?
A peepee?
Mm-hmm. They would. That's
Would
what
they
they would
actually
say.
call it pee-pee?
Oh, our penis.
kid,
yeah.
The train.
The train. Why the?
can't
Like,
remember
what are some
anything
example sentences of how they'd use it?
I don't know. They just said.
Just
They've
like-
never literally addressed my penis ever in my life.
I hardly did it either, but it would be that or like,
Even after I would yank at it.
Yeah.
that's, alright.
You just pull it and show them this.
This is mine.
Because Jam,
We had a very strange conversation, like maybe last weekend.
yeah, where she thought that this shit was normal.
It was okay. I have another sister.
Oh,
And I
no.
don't have really many guys in my family. So it's like common knowledge, I guess, to call like your
Your valley.
uh-huh.
Your front butt.
And now I feel embarrassed saying it because you reacted so strongly to it. But my mom
All right, when you guys laugh, turn away from the mics, please.
my mom would call it a quesito. Like your little piece of cheese.
Oh, man.
Did you wash your cheese?
Oh, God. What?
I can see it.
Yeah, make
I
sure
can
you
see
wash
it.
behind your cheese.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
Oh.
But it was just like a cute little thing, like a
It's cute, but for some reason I started thinking about like whenever people refer to it as like roast beef.
Yeah.
but like for older people, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's just
Yeah.
That's
And
like,
then-
my skin
at
crawl.
that point, it's just a torta.
And then my mom would call peaners el chile.
So
Nice.
the pepper and the cheese.
The pepper and the cheese.
That's
What Mexican dish is this?
yeah, right. Alan,
Stuffed peppers.
what do you refer to it for your kid? When do you reference it?
No, I
You
just
never tell him like, "Hey, wash your fucking cock and balls."
No, I don't know. I don't really think he really understands what I'm telling him a lot of times because right now he's at the age where we're teaching him in this school, teaching him, you know, that's a place that you're not supposed to be touched, you know, and if it happens,
how old is
he has to. He's 4.
4?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Oh,
he just started kindergarten a couple
Okay,
years ago.
yeah, so yeah.
So he's just at the point where you're.
So I'm not sure what the school's referring it to, but I just tell him, you know, it's a weird way. I just like reference it, but I don't give it a name.
Oh, yeah.
I don't say like dick or balls or anything like that.
Or PT or faja.
I would hope not.
Yeah,
Stop touching your fucking dick.
Call it a wee wee.
being a parent is fucking weird.
bet.
I'm making it up as I go.
I'm sorry, but we always have to ask you these questions because you're the only one that has one.
And I feel like I'm a terrible example.
All right. Well, with that, that's all the time we have for this week. Alex, I'm sorry you didn't get to
That's
read a
fine. I
story.
didn't have a story.
All right. So next week we have something very special planned for episode 50. So make sure to come back and check that shit out and tell your friends. So then we could do a Spit Bucket meet and greet. But for now, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at _ the Shark Boy.
And then, what about the spit bucket again?
Instagram, the Spit Bucket Pod. We got some funny pictures from the news on there too. So check that out.
And what about the spit bucket Twitter?
We don't have one.
Fuck that. You want good memes? Follow me at Instagram and Twitter at really_cool.
The O's are zeros.
I don't, that's
She doesn't
fine.
give a
O's
fuck
are-
anymore.
Flat Earth. Oh, yeah, it's my turn.
Those are flat cheese.
Flat cheese.
Chisito.
You can find me on...
Enough!
What?
No one fucking
All
cares.
right,
You never
Alan,
even
where can
come.
the people
Alan,
find
where
you?
can the people find you?
You can
You're
find
right.
me on Instagram at AlanZF1 and Twitter at WizardsOnlyFools. I'm not going to spell that.
I refuse to spell that. George
No
Bush
vowels.
taught me how to spell.
You go.
You go.
You do it.
No, you can go.
You guys are making my editing job real hard here.
Hang up, sir.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. All right, we'll see you guys next week at
Bye-bye.
the Spit Bucket.
iPrado 95.
iPrado 95.
Yeah.
Fuck this game.
No, you stop
Shut up.
listening to the podcast. No, you stop listening to the podcast. All right, see you guys next week.
Go Bears.